bang, 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 bang. We just hit the league with an uppercut. The 49ers are instant Super Bowl favorites, contenders, you name it. Why? CMC.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. Overmotivated is an understatement. Gold-blooded to the core, got your squad hating. Breezy make it look easy. Breezy on everything like 05, 06, 7 Wheezy. This is not a gang. Yeah, we faithful in every way. And even though we on the East Coast, very loyal to the Bay. Heavy red and gold every day. And if you really a Niner fan, I know you can relate. Applying pressure with this content like Smaller Bear. We not accepting no slander about Trey, so beware. I stay in exclusively Niner hats. And I always tell the truth, this exclusively Niner facts. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded, I got the Niners on my back, you know. Yeah, breezy this.
What's going on, everybody? It's Friday, damn it. Mose, happy Friday. I don't know if Moses is as happy as I am, but it is what it is. Listen, we are here. Welcome to the show, the Wayne Breezy Show. Listen, I'm super excited. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That McCollin 12 got me kind of jacked up, man. I'm feeling kind of weird. I ain't want to wake up this morning. I ain't want to get out the bed. I was feeling woodsy. And I need to grab some grub. But listen, we here. We're gonna do this call-in show. Mose, the breaking news last night. We're gonna skip the formalities and get to that stuff at the end of the show because I want the people to call in and talk. They talk. Christian McCaffrey last night around 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was traded to the San Francisco 49ers, bro. All right. Now, the 49ers gave up a bunch of draft picks. Mose, I need your instant reaction. How do you feel about this trade? Are you with it? Are you all on board? What's good with Mose? What does Mose knows right now?
Man, I woke up this morning.
Got myself a gun. Never mind. They don't know nothing about Sopranos.
Woke up this morning, man, to a whole host of text messages, bro. Phone going crazy because my phone died last night.
I got you.
So I fell asleep watching the Cardinals Saints game. My phone died. So I plugged it up and it just doom, 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 doom. I'm like, okay, what is happening? And I see it and I'm like, okay. We talked about it, bro. We talked about it when we was in Atlanta. We talked about adding an injury-prone running back to the most injured team in the NFL right now. It's something we're doing, whether it's practice, training camp, games, whatever, something we doing, something our training staff is doing, something we doing in the weight room, something's not working. And then we add a guy who has a serious injury history. He done messed a lot of people fantasy teams up. But at the same time, I'm looking at the positive. One of the things that I'm looking at is I think right now, Kyle Shanahan thinks defenses don't fear his offense as they used to. When we had Raheem Mostert, it didn't matter who the quarterback was or who our receiver weapons was. Teams knew that Raheem Mostert could break off an 80-yard run at any given point in the game. If it was blocked correctly, if the defense weren't in their gaps, if they had missed assignments, they knew that he's a one-play touchdown waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. We have Debo, we have Kittle, but I think from the running back perspective, we don't have that threat of a one-play touchdown at any given moment.
The home
I
run guy.
think the home run guy. I think Christian McCaffrey adds that element of a home run. So I still have mixed emotions about it. Definitely want to see him in the red and gold and see what Kyle's able to do from an offensive perspective. Still have mixed emotions, but I think from Kyle's perspective, now he has a home run guy in the backfield to go with home run guys at wide receiver and Ayuk and Debo, to go with a home run guy like Kittle. And now he can really stretch this offense out and expand into some things we may have not even seen from him yet.
My mentor is watching, and I feel super excited. Guys, Timmy Maya, this is the guy that has groomed your boy Breezy into the music world, into the performing world. I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. I'll see you tonight, bro. We're gonna turn it up tonight. Listen, Mose, I get it. I get why fans are a little like, weird on this particular move. Some fans are mad about the picks. Some fans are mad that he's injury prone. Chrissy put up, he was only injured 2 times in 6 years. And when you say that, it was the type of injuries that kind of kept him out. But if you look at the Carolina Panthers and you look to see like why he was injured, I mean, they made this kid the bell cow in the receiving game and in the rushing game. And like I'm not saying he's not a durable guy. I feel like he can be durable. You see, he's doing well this season. He's keeping his body, whatever he's doing, he's getting used to what it takes to prolong health in the football world. Being that this is his what 5th year, 2017 he was drafted. So Christian McCaffrey is figuring it out, and sometimes it takes guys time to figure it out. Again, in Carolina, man, he was the workhorse. He was their offense. I know they had Cam Newton, but the reason why Cam Newton had an MVP year, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard pass catcher. Haven't seen that since what? For the 49ers, since Roger Craig. I know Marshall Faulk did it, but I'm talking about in the 49ers uniform. And I'm not saying he's going to do that this year, but he's coming to a team that is offensively minded and sounded. And I feel like the reason why Kyle hasn't really been able to go into his bag is the absence of Elijah Mitchell. Now, the good news is you pick this guy up, you get this guy, you're going to be getting Elijah Mitchell off the IR probably after the bye. The running backs room goes from like a C+ to like an A+. Yes, they are injury prone. That's what Kyle Shanahan gets, the type of run style he probably uses and the way he sets up his game. You got to remember, for the 49ers, in order for the runs to hit home, every piece has to work like clockwork. And when they don't, you get a guy rolling up on the running back's ankle. You get this, you get that, right? So look, I'm excited. And the reason why I'm excited, bro, is because Kyle just added another all freaking pro to his offense. Another all pro. There are 4 all pros, Mose, and that 21 personnel. 4. And Brandon Ayuk look like he gonna be on his way.
That's number 5.
And I said 21 personnel. I didn't add in Trent Williams from the offensive line, which makes it 5. And I know we don't want to count Kyle Juszczyk because the fullback spot don't get the all-pro tag. He's the best fullback in football. He's all-pro.
That's
so
6.
I'm just saying, you got to look what Kyle is playing chess. But lately he had to play he was playing checkers. Now he piece. Is this the checkmate piece? Is this the piece that Kyle was missing? You just told me we were missing the home run guy. We were missing the home run guy. We were missing a guy that could take a play and get you 80 yards and a touchdown. We watched what he did against the 49ers. His whole career, he abused us. He's the only one that scored in the Carolina game for them anyway.
And I think somebody just he put up 145 total against the Rams.
Total.
And we see them in 2 weeks.
Bro, receiving, and he had that long run against the Rams going down the line. He had the 19-yard run touchdown against the 49ers. Let's just keep it 100. This is what you're getting. Oh, also, he's healthy. And then you're going to get Mitchell back. And now you can sit there and sprinkle in some stuff. Ain't going to be no more hot hand. It's going to be that trusting, revolving door for Kyle Shanahan. Because what's the predicate of his offense? The run game. I think it's a great move. Look, and here's the thing that I love the most about this move, bro. He's only gonna cost the 49ers this season like $600K, bro. Like he making less money from the 49ers than Jeff Wilson Jr. Mike pointed that out yesterday. And I'm like, dang. Now next year, 12 million, the year after that, 12 million, the year after that, 12.2. I guarantee there's gonna be some type of restructure going down. He's probably gonna be he's probably gonna retire a 49er.
I mean, that is one thing that I am excited about. Just the potential of what this offense can be. I do wonder what the running backs in the room feel like right now. Jeff Wilson Jr. being a tenured guy here, somebody who's been here for a while and took over the reins when Mitchell went down.
Last year, his contract. You just said you're excited about potential. You got to think about the future. This might be it. But
now, I've been asking this question: who's the odd man out?
Does there need to be an odd man out? Does Jordan Mason not have enough film to go back onto the practice squad? Kyle strategically didn't play him. Think about what they doing. Shit. We not even thinking that. Think about why is Jordan Mason not running the rock? Oh, because I'm about to trade for Christian McCaffrey. Y'all just hold on. I could stash Mason for a year or two, and let that cat grow up in our system. Ain't nobody gonna touch Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason got one rush for 7 yards. Preseason football don't matter. It's what you do in the NFL when the regular season starts, fam. And that cat got one carry for 7 yards. Tell me which team is looking at Jordan Mason film. Tell me Kyle Shanahan didn't just play chess again. I never thought about this perspective until you came on the show, so thank you for bringing this out of me. Pause. Tell me, bro.
I mean, the only teams that would be looking at Jordan Mason are teams that utilize a similar system and know and understand what Kyle sees in running backs. And that's very few teams out there. And a lot of those teams don't need a running back. Miami, they don't need a running back right now. They got Edmonds, they got Mostert. The Jets, they don't need a running back. Breece Hall was a steal for them. So there are not a lot of teams that need a running back that kind of mimic what Kyle does on offense. So, yeah, can Jordan Mason go on the practice squad? Absolutely. When Mitchell comes back healthy, then, that kind of brings up another issue because
we're over.
If CMC is one, and Mitchell is two, then we still got Mason, Tico, and TDP. So I mean, listen, we kept 5 backs initially. We kept Mason, we kept Trey Sermon. Eventually, we moved on from Trey Sermon. So Kyle kept 5 running backs for the 53-man roster initially. I was thinking about it. Will there be an odd man out? Maybe there will be, depending on, the rest of the injuries on this team.
Mm-hmm.
If we have to bring somebody else in. But it's a possibility that we keep all 5 and maybe just we don't suit up one. If Jordan Mason is primarily helping out on special teams, which he has been doing, blocking for Ray McLeod, then maybe we don't suit up Tico Raw unless we really need him. Maybe he's our veteran that goes back on the practice squad, but we just keep him in-house just in case, whether Wilson goes down, TDP goes down, maybe something happens to Mason on the kickoff and we need somebody to bring somebody back in. So it is very well possible that we keep all 5 running backs. So there may not be an odd man out there. I'm just kind of think like what other moves could be happening, could be coming. But again, I am excited about the potential.
I think there's more. Listen, don't sleep. The 49ers still currently have 7 draft picks. And
I thought it was 9.
I think they have 7, if I'm not mistaken. They had a slew of them. They gave up 4. So they have 2 thirds, they have 2 fifths, and 3 sevenths.
Okay, so that's 7. Somebody said we had 9, but
now
if
next
it's 7,
year,
that's still plenty of picks.
Still stocked.
Yeah, we said still plenty of picks.
There's
They're not
plenty of
high
picks.
value picks, but
The 49ers don't. Okay, let me explain to you, not you, but let me explain to them why the 49ers don't need high value picks. The 49ers aren't a rebuilding team.
nope.
And we had what, 11 picks last year? How many picks we had in 2022? 9 to 11, something like that. It was a lot.
Something like that.
How
Yeah.
many of them cats made the squad, bro?
Burford, Womack,
Probably 7.
TDP,
Mm-hmm. Gray,
Danny Gray, Drake Jackson. That's 5.
that's 5. Zakil.
Yeah, he's on the practice squad though, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying they didn't let him go. Like they let go
Right.
they let go of some players, right? They
Yeah.
let go of some of their draft picks. The 49ers are they're in the same situation, right? I would say that they took a page out of Les Miles' general managing book, and they said, bump it. Let's go all in. Why not?
These picks.
F these picks. F these picks, right? F these picks. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to even be able to utilize them. What's the point of hoarding all these picks if we're not going to be able to utilize them? And we're going to end up drafting and cutting players anyway. So I tell you what, let's eliminate some of the picks. We didn't have a first round pick. We don't need a second round pick. We don't need a third round pick. You know what picks we need? 5th round picks. You know why? Because that's where you make your value. That's when you can say financially, yo, we just got to steal in the draft. Once that player develops, oh my gosh, it's going to be like, dang, the 49ers got a first round pick in the 5th round. And now when it comes down to financial contract situations, it's a way for them to manipulate. The 49ers are probably the smartest team in football. It just doesn't appear every single time because you're watching other teams make transactions, other teams add pieces. The 49ers, in my opinion, were missing this running back. And, they went out and got a running back. That was the issue. Look, the offensive line proved that they can be solid with injuries. The wide receivers proved they can get open. Jimmy Garoppolo proved he can get the ball down the field, still get the ball out of his hand quick. And for so far, he's proven he can stay healthy, right? What are we missing? Consistent run game. Jeff Wilson Jr. was the only running back that had a 100-yard game by himself. I'm not saying CMC is going to get that, but the defenses have to prepare for that because CMC is a bell cow and will wear that ass out. That's what he does.
Listen, every team on our schedule going forward, I guarantee you, Steve Spagnuolo was building a plan for the Chiefs, and I don't care if the word around Twitter, 49ers Twitter is that McCaffrey will more than likely suit up for Sunday's game and we'll use him in the red zone. That's what the word is.
Okay.
But Steve Spagnuolo probably
but we'll talk about that.
It's Friday. Steve Spagnuolo has probably laid out his defensive game plan.
Talk to us, please.
For Sunday.
Will you please preach, bro?
When this news broke, he probably woke up this morning with the biggest headache because now he's got to go in and he's got to make tweaks. What happens when you make last minute tweaks for an unknown event?
That
leads to mistakes.
Oh my gosh, yes,
that leads to mistakes. And I think every single defensive coordinator in this league right now, every single defensive coordinator on our schedule in this league right now, they are going like they're having a fit. They already knew our offense had firepower. You got to deal with Ayuk, you got to deal with Kittle, you got to deal with Deebo Samuel. Now you add Christian McCaffrey to that mix. It's like, man, like how am I going to defend all of this? Especially with teams that don't have good defenses, especially with teams that the secondary is an issue or linebackers are an issue or they can't get pressure on the quarterback. Every team has a deficiency somewhere on their defense. So now I got to figure out, how do I stop this guy running the ball, but also catching the ball out of the backfield? How do I stop Deebo? Because he's going to be everywhere. How do I stop Kittle from killing me across the middle? How do I stop Brandon Ayuk, who's going to man the outsides, can go across the middle, can run outright? Like, I got to stop 4 dudes.
You forgot Juice because
then you got to factor in Juice, and Juice comes in the game. He can do everything. He can come under the center. He can sneak it. He could run a dive. He can line up out wide. Like,
in the slot.
All of the motions and movement. So, like, That for me, that's the silver lining. It's yes, some people say maybe we pay too much. Some people say he's an injury prone linebacker. I'm just looking at the fits that defensive coordinators are going to have, trying to figure out one, what Kyle Shanahan is doing and how to stop it. And I think at least early on, just the thought of that, by the time those guys figure it out, it'll be too late. Mike, what's up, bro?
Listen, I want to ask Mike this because we talked about this last night. We broke the news on Nothing But Niners, and Mike, it's good to have you here, bro. Guys that are giving contributions, please keep them coming in. I'm definitely going to get to the contributions right before we open up the phone lines. I promise you, I'll get to them. I'm not ignoring them. I'm starring them. Mike, I got to ask you this question. You know, we're not going to sit here and look past this year. We already talked about that. Mike, I need your vibes for 2023, bro, because Trey Lance will be back. I need the Mike vibes right now. He got on the Carreras. I need, bro. I gotta put on my zennies. Go ahead, Mike. Get your vibe going. I clean this
to the moon. Do you hear me? To the moon. 2023. What? Are you kidding me? We're gonna be the scariest team. The NFL. Listen, because everything that y'all said is accurate, right? Everything that Mose was just running through with the potential in this offense right now, it's all accurate, right? And then there's Jimmy Garoppolo. And teams, for the most part, have a beat on Jimmy. They have a pulse on Jimmy Garoppolo, but not Trey Lance. There is oh my God, I'm getting a phone call. There is this just factor with Trey Lance and what he's going to do. How does he actually read the field? Is he going to run? Is he going to take off? You have a pulse on Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'll give Jimmy some credit. These last two games, that pulse has been off because he's been doing a lot more than what he's been doing. Mm-hmm. But now when you factor in that they have a new guy in Trey Lance there with all of these weapons, all of these gadgets, and that offensive line coming together the way it has, y'all get, hey, look, the new pieces on the offensive line, those guys are out there holding together really, really well. Those guys are out there and they're defending, they're protecting their quarterbacks and defending their quarterbacks better than anything in a very long time. That's what we're seeing from this offensive line, and a lot of them are pups. A lot of them are pups. They're going to be here for the long haul. You got Banks and you got Murphy. Man, look, 2023, if the defense, this is going to sound crazy, if the defense can sustain their level of success that they have right now, and you get a healthy Christian McCaffrey, and you add him to the mix of the weapons that we have right now, and you insert the unknown quarterback play of Trey Lance, good, bad, the exciting plays that he's going to make, the phenomenal throws that he's going to make and things like that, the bad throw, whatever it is, you factor all that in, this is going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL. I'm talking like what people think the Bills are right now without a running game, that's how they're going to be viewing the 49ers.
Yeah, with the unknown of the quarterback. That's crazy. Because now you got a factor, and Mo said it earlier, like, never mind Spagnuolo. I'm thinking of all the defensive coordinators we got to play the remainder of the season. You know, we got, 4 more divisional games. We got 1 against the Rams, 1 against the Seahawks, 2 against the Cardinals, right? They're going to have fits. They're not going to understand what the hell's about to hit them. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about this year. Mike was talking about next year. I'm bringing it back to 2022. This is what Christian McCaffrey is going to do. What are you going to do when he lines up wide? You're not going to put you go ahead and put a linebacker. You saw the Tico, that was on a nickelback. And Tico did that over a nickelback. Imagine what Christian McCaffrey would do lined out wide. This is going to be amazing to see what the 49ers are going to do offensively. And like Mo said, it just creates the mismatches, right? Because you better play match defense. If you don't know what match defense is, it's man-to-man when you match your best guy up against our best guy. You better make sure, because now the 49ers got 5 best guys. The personnel and 21, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. That personnel, oh my gosh. Like, what do you do? And all Jimmy has to do is push the button, go, and just make the right read. Like, and you know, people keep saying, oh, Jimmy this and Jimmy that. Guys, Trent Dilfer won a mother freaking Super Bowl. And their offense was nowhere near as dynamic at what this 49ers offense is.
Absolutely.
They had that defense, and
defense was crazy.
but their offense was nowhere near as dynamic. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo is way better than Trent Dilfer. So
I think he's a more accurate quarterback. I think Dilfer has the arm strength.
the arm
But I
should
think
get the ball down
overall,
the field.
Jimmy is a little bit more accurate.
Yeah. But just overall, I think he's just better.
Mm-hmm.
Better for this particular type of a system. Watching Jimmy last week in that Atlanta game gave me hope.
I was encouraged.
Okay,
I was encouraged.
We were there.
We were there, and I didn't care about the 2 interceptions. I thought one of them should have been a pass interference, and then the other one was what at the end of the first half.
The one was the Debo was too high. That was second though. I think the first interception was the end of the first half, and then in the second half was the high joint to Debo. Jimmy was trying to fall down the field.
Yeah. So I mean, look, you saw the pass that he threw to Ray McCloud. Everybody has been reposting it, showing the all 22 angle. That's probably one of the best throws I've ever seen Jimmy Garoppolo make. And it wasn't a 5-yard throw or a 10-yard throw. It was a throw down the field, and it was beautiful ball placement. It should have been caught. So lately, he has been playing better than what we have seen. If Jimmy can be consistent with his play, and now we have this added element of, now our run game is scary again. This was my thought process too.
Threat.
This was my thought process too. If we're gonna go out and get a guy like Christian McCaffrey, why not just keep Mostert?
Because let me ask you this question: who's better, Mostert or McCaffrey?
CMC for sure.
And so I'm gonna dig back. I had to erase the phone number, guys, so don't call in as of yet. I promise we're gonna open up that phone line. That's why we're here. You gotta go back to 2017, bro. Who did the 49ers draft with their first pick in the draft?
In 2017?
2017. First pick.
That wasn't Solomon Thomas, was it?
He went to Stanford. His name was Solomon Thomas. Who did the 49ers want to draft with the first pick in the draft? Probably Christian McCaffrey, who went 8 to the Carolina Panthers. Now, here's where I'm going with this. They drafted in the trenches because they needed edge rushing because they wanted to build the defense.
Right.
You never really draft that running back high. You let him go where he goes, then you go get your guy later. Kyle Shanahan has been piecing running backs, grabbing this guy. He tried to draft the guy, just didn't hit. They weren't ready. The offense is way too complicated for rookies. Way too intricate for rookies. It just is. How did Elijah Mitchell handle it? I don't know. He's smart. He got it, right? He was able to figure it out. Unfortunately, couldn't stay healthy his rookie season, but he was something that we were looking forward to going forward. So what does Kyle do? He brings in the guys that were comfortable running his system. Tico, this is his third stint with Kyle Shanahan in his career. He is back. Think about that. So I guarantee you, bro, that Christian McCaffrey was a guy that they were looking at, and you don't draft running backs early. That's just not what you do when you're rebuilding. Now, if your team is stacked and you got the cap, you go get your back. And now you got your back for 5 years on a 5th-year option contract. But fortunately, the 49ers weren't built that way. So they had to wait, and they let him get his injuries out. They let him become a dynamic guy. Yeah, in fantasy football, he screwed us over because he got injured, but it's okay. He's still today a top 5 running back in the league when you're talking totality. That's what Christian. So guess what? John Lynch said, "Hey, Kyle, man, look, man, you remember the kid that I was really looking at Stanford? The Panthers want to get rid of him. Can I go get my guy?" Kyle says, "You talking about CMC?" John Lynch is like, "Hell yeah." Kyle says, "If you don't get that guy on my team, you're fired." That's what happened. CMC became a 49er.
No.
And normally we hoard picks. That's what we do. Not anymore. It's a different system. They got a quarterback on their rookie contract that they can continue stockpiling all pro players at their positions that will be what you just said, threats to the NFL. And that's what you got. So why do they not keep Raheem Mostert? He's more injured than Christian McCaffrey, believe it or not. And he's known for one thing, just his really quick speed. Now he has to get through that hole and get that speed, and it's not a knock on him, But why they not utilizing him in Miami? Ever ask yourself that question? I guarantee you.
I have been asking that question.
And
I thought I would see
who,
more Mostert
and who's the
than
head
anything.
coach?
Mike McDaniel,
And where did he come from?
San Francisco.
And who did he help blossom in his run game coordinating? Raheem Mostert. But you're not seeing him. Something to make you go, Something to make you go home. Look, we got to open up the phone lines. Mose, I hope that's cool with you. I know you're at work. But if you have to dip out, I totally understand. But I gotta hear from
Man, it's my lunchtime, brother.
I hear you, bro. I gotta hear from the faithful. The number is 475-549-7849. Go ahead and give us a call. You guys are gonna get 2 minutes apiece. There we go. And the one and only 49er Media, my man is in the building. What's going on, baby?
What's up, Breezy?
Hey, you got to be more excited than that. I know you just waking up out there on the west. We know you just.
Where's that energy at?
But I need that energy right now because we just got CMC, baby.
Yeah, I'm actually dealing a little bit with a cold. So.
Oh man, get well soon, bro.
I feel better, bro.
Thanks.
Hey man, listen. Tell us what you feeling right now, other than the cold.
See, the thing is, I want to say everybody probably, had the narrative. Oh, Sean Lynch doesn't trade picks. He likes draft picks way too much. But to me, I think that the Niners, it had to be the right move for them to move off the picks, and that is exactly what they did. And they feel like they have a Super Bowl roster that they don't really need to, go out there and get a lot of young talent for these next few years. That's why they pretty much, I'd say, sold the house for 2023. And so I really don't mind this. The only thing is, CMC just has to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. But other than
sounds
that,
like every other 49er player too, by the way. Health is the key. Like everybody, like 49ers, they just got to figure out ways to stay healthy. But this should help solidify what Kyle Shanahan's plan is going forward and starting now in the present.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys, because obviously the Niners pretty stacked at running back. Who do you think is going to get cut?
The odd man out. Mose was asking that question a little earlier. It's tough, right? Because Marlon Mack's on the practice squad. And so you're talking active roster. I don't know if anybody gets cut, but there may be another trade brewing. There may be another trade. And I'm not talking T-Code Raw. At the very beginning of the season, who was I trying to trade? Do you remember?
They're trying to trade Sermon.
Who was I trying to trade? Who did I say I thought was going to be traded? Do you remember? Jeff Wilson Jr. Yeah. So this might he had a game, then he had a down game, and this might be where they're going to try to spend him and get him on a team. Now it's hard to trade running backs, even though we just traded for McCaffrey, but he can go and find himself a team where he's going to get the volume. And honestly, I don't think Miami. I know, Mose, you said Miami don't need a running back. I don't like any of their running backs. Chase Edmonds is a wash. They're not using Mostert. Bring in Jeff Wilson Jr. Like, why not? Why not? Now, I don't think Mike McDaniel will do that, but I can see him being the guy that might possibly get traded, bro.
Yeah. But do you feel like there's any losers? Because I personally think the biggest loser on this trade is Deebo Samuel, because he has, the running incentives in his contract.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. No. Mose, what do you think? Do you feel like there's any losers? I'll let you take this question, then we got to get the other caller on.
I don't think there are any losers in this trade on our side. I actually disagree. I think this opens it up even that much more for Deebo Samuel. One of the things that I was thinking about is Jimmy Garoppolo on the pistol. You got Deebo on one side and Christian McCaffrey on the other side. Linebackers are going to be scared. Defensive linemen are going to be confused about which gap they need to go into. It's going to cause havoc. Teams are going to not know what to do when you see CMC and Deebo in the backfield at the same time. I think, again, Kyle wants to have that illusion and strike fear that when you see this personnel package on the field, at any time a big play can happen. I think that was missing for the first 6 games. Now we have that back. So I don't think Debo is a loser here. I think it opens it up more for him. It opens it up more for Brandon Ayuk. It opens it up more for Kittle. And I think with Debo's ability to run the ball, I think he still gets his 5 to 8 carries. And that's 5 to 8 less carries that you give to CMC to keep him as healthy as possible. So, yeah, I know Kyle wants to run the ball 30 times. But if you sprinkle in, 5 to 8 from Debo, 8 to 12, 10 to 12 from Mitchell, and maybe 15 to 18 from CMC. You keep everybody healthy. You keep that rotation going. You're able to move the ball, get first downs, and ultimately score points. So I don't think there's any losers on our side.
All right, man. There you go, man. Listen, media, I got to get these other people on the phone, man, but I appreciate you calling in. I hope you feel better, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Guys, remember when you call, just call one time. I got a call waiting thing set up here, so it's letting me know who's calling. So I'm going to call you right back, I promise. Kenny, get ready. Turn your volumes down as well when you talk on the phone.
Hello.
DC Legends in the building. Kenny, what's going on, baby?
What up, bro?
Easy Mose, what's going on with y'all?
Hey, man, this is the happiest I heard you sound all damn season long, bro.
Oh, hey, bro, I'm shocked, actually, and I just really don't know how to feel about this right now.
Okay.
But it's not a bad thing, though. It's not a bad thing,
It's not. It's not. If I was there, I would pinch you so you know that you're not dreaming.
Because I was asleep, right? I took a little nap or whatever. I woke up. I look at Twitter, say, breaking news, we traded for CMC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hold up. Got to check this. And now show we traded for him. I just want to know if this is Kyle starting to change the way he's starting to draft players and stuff like that. Like, you know how he go get those quality guys who could do multiple things, but they're not really good.
Them bargain players.
I want to know if I want to know if he's gonna change that and start getting those elite talents and players. You know what I mean?
That's a good question, bro. And we'll answer that question. Listen, here's my take on it real quick, and then Mose, you can give your take on it. Listen, I don't know if that changes up his game plan when it comes to drafting players, because Kyle still likes versatility. But you got to see what's going on right now. Look, Kyle and John scouted this kid back in 2017, and they had to let stuff just go. Like, they had to let things work, because you got to remember, they were building their defense. They were building in the offensive line. They were building in the trenches. This kid that was drafted and scouted by them is now a 49er, and they have the means and the money to pay that contract that he was given. And so you got to look at it as the 49ers just drafted the player that they wanted, and they got him in a trade, and they don't give a fuck about paying that money. And I guarantee you, they're going to work out some restructure, and he's going to retire a Niner. This is a good situation for the 49ers. The only thing you got to do, and you can say this about every player, not just him, is find a way to keep these guys healthy. That's what Kyle Shanahan need to do. Go to health school and figure out what to feed these players and tell them how to work out. That's what he needs to do.
Because these injuries are ridiculous.
Mose, did you want to add to that or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it'll change his draft philosophy. I think when Kyle falls in love with a player, you see it and it's evident. So like, he went and got Deebo Samuel because of the time that he spent with him at the Senior Bowl, and now look at what Deebo has turned into. So whether it's a first-round pick, a second-round pick, or somebody in the 5th or 6th round, if Kyle sees potential and knows how to work with it, and then that player also shows that they're capable to do what he's asking them to do, I don't think that'll change. But I do think he is at least a little bit more keen, like you're saying, to making sure that he can find guys that are not only durable and that can do multiple things, but are elite talents, and not just talent or not just players that, he could fill in and make it work. You always want to find the elite talent wherever you can. But I know at least early on, when he was rebuilding this roster, he had to find what he could find and just use whatever was out there. So I think now that we don't have that problem, and the reason why, Breezy is so hype and most of the faithful are so hype about this is because even with bringing in CMC, our core is locked up. Debo's locked up. Trent Williams is locked up. Juice is locked up. Kittle is locked up. CMC is locked up. Warner is locked up. Mooney Ward is locked up.
We won't let them
all
down.
of
You
these
better
dudes
sing it, dog. I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't
locked
help
up.
it. He said it. You said locked up, bro. Akon dropped in my head. Kenny singing the bars back there. I'm making the sound effects. Listen, Kenny, thank you for joining, man. I got to get the other people on the show, but I appreciate you, bro. This is good news. Now let's go out here and whip some Chiefs.
All right, man.
All right, man. Peace
Thanks for
out.
having me on, y'all.
Yes,
take it
sir.
easy.
Yes, sir. I love it, guys. Guys got questions. I want to know how you feel. People got the questions. We're going to get E-Nice on here real quick, guys. Listen, we're doing the first 10 callers, and I got to get the contributions, and I got to let Mose get back to work. All right, so here we go.
Breezy.
E,
Mose, what's up?
Nizzo, Fashinto. What's going on, baby?
What up? Ain't nothing. I'm kind of happy. I'm happy today. I ain't gonna be mad about it.
Wait a minute. This don't sound like a phone call I was expecting. You can't say you kind of happy. You got to tell us why you're not feeling it. That's what we want to hear. What's really good?
I need to see what's going on the field before I can say it.
Understood.
And then I still say, my boy John Lynch, if we got the general manager picked up 4 running backs in the past 2 years, now we done trapped it for another one.
Mm-hmm.
We making good moves, then I guess we making something bad, right?
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Listen, my job is to make you see what you don't see. So I'm gonna tell you right now, first of all, 49ers got the best white running back I've ever sseen play football. So I'm gonna put it at that. Look, and when you can find one, you get them and you find a way to keep them because you ain't never gonna see it again. I don't even know if they're still out there in college. Like this is what it is. CMC is different. Just look at his makeup. Look at his. He's different, yo. Also the pedigree. You got to factor in the pedigree. Look, this is history. This is lineage. This is Father Shanahan, Father McCaffrey, John Lynch, Denver McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Connect Stanford.
He babysitted that young man.
Kyle Shanahan was the babysitter. Go figure. Hey, son.
Crazy.
Hey, son. What, Dad? Hey, man, listen, I got to go and run some plays, man. I need you to babysit this little motherfucker over here. Dad, I want to run plays with you. Nah, son. I said, sit down and babysit McCaffrey. All right, Dad. Fucking, that I guarantee you, man. Yo, you got to love it, bro. You got to love it.
That's why I was thinking, like, Cal's a good play caller and all that. We were saying, get Cal out of here. But all that, like, he gets people open. I even seen my boy Catman open. Dante Pettis opening a couple of times. But sometimes everybody got to be on the same page. That's why I really wanted to get out. Meaning the quarterback, the running back, the wide receivers, and the defense. So when we get everything together, we can get it popping, get it, going on. But we missing some kind of aspects when we get on the field.
Okay.
And that's why I'll be getting kind of mad where something like I was talking the other day, I want to keep it going a little bit, but we can run the ball on 3rd and 10.
Yes, I mentioned that. Now we can. I don't think we could.
So about that quarter, because they run quarters or dime on a 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12, and then you put a double tight end on one side or whatever, boom, knock them on their backside. You know what I mean?
But hear me out. I don't disagree with you. The reason why I said that we couldn't on the show, and I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. It's because of the speed from our running backs having to get them 10 yards. And it would take every one of those pieces to work properly. Now you got a playmaker at a running back. Remember, Jeff Wilson Jr., as good as he wasn't a playmaker, right? He wasn't fast as Raheem Mostert, and I don't even think Raheem Mostert was a playmaker. He was just fast. Now you got a playmaker at the running back position. If a smart defender says, it's going to McCaffrey, I trust McCaffrey can do a couple of things, make the guy miss him or find a way to get extra yards. I just think that's what he does. And now I'm 3rd and 10 and I'm running it. You just gave Kyle Shanahan a whole nother option. I need him to make sure they clip this segment part with E-Nice, 3rd and 10. Run the goddamn ball now.
Just like Richard Sherman said, I mean, sometimes it depends on the defense too. Like we playing chess, but it depends who you playing in chess. Because that makes the whole thing, because you're playing an opponent more than you playing the pieces. And that's what other people don't understand. Like, I can do it because I know this guy's going to blitz on my right side, or his defensive end is so strong over here. We get to their weak points and we get our bigger points there to knock them down. And that's coaching to me 101.
You got it, bro.
Put the best players against their worst, and then we make it happen. You show them the power left run, and then you do quick passes or go deep on them. But you show it first, quick run left, and then when they come up on you, then you, sorry, not that one. And then it's A, B, and C. That's what I was trying to get in. Now, go ahead. Sorry. Whew.
I love it. Hey, man, listen, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on with us, man. We appreciate your wisdom, your talks.
Yes, sir.
Hear from you every day, bro. Keep up, man. Love you.
Nitty gritty for life. Nitty gritty, boy.
Life,
we here.
baby.
Mo, Breezy, Peachy, all of us. Fair. Let's go.
Let's go.
We here, though. We here. We just going to build on this. And I want it this year, man. We want it this year. You heard me?
6
Not
right now.
Much in the South this year.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir. Ooh,
Let's go.
man, this is crazy. I love it, yo. I got questions for days.
go.
Listen, I'll hit you up off air, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
peace
sir. You
out. Yo, we got to bring in the one and
Now
only.
listen.
Yeah.
Now listen. I'm with you. I want it this year. But does adding CMC and us winning a chip make it more difficult for Jimmy and the Trey Lance situation?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
This is all for the future. Jimmy Garoppolo is going out there and he's going to get this contract. Guys, I got to call back the numbers in the order that they call. They're in the Bay, but I promise you I'll get to your number if you call. All right? Mose, we're going to take that number off because that's going to be the last one.
Yo.
Hey, man, listen, I ain't going to say nothing. Everybody know who you are. Let everybody know how you feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to, baby. D, hit him with the D, baby.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I do it. I do it.
Whoa.
Super balls.
Wait, D, let me ask you this. Did you see the Drake Jackson response video?
I did not get a chance to see
this boy
that.
Drake Jackson is chilling in the crib playing Madden, right? He gets up.
Okay.
He's like, oh, beep. Wait, I got the beep. Yo. And he's so country. Didn't realize he was this country. That boy country. Yo, we just signed us a white boy. Sunshine for real. I'm like,
Yep.
Drake Jackson was excited. Why? Because he had to just play that mother sucker a couple weeks ago, bro. Like, listen, man, how you feeling, bro? Let us know.
Look, I'm cautiously optimistic. That's what I will say.
We want to hear that.
I agree with the guy. I think 2 callers before me where he said he wants to see it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. I'm cautiously optimistic. The thing with me is I need to see execution from this offense in the second half.
Okay.
And while everybody praises Jimmy for making the throws downfield, the man only made 2 throws that were actually catchable. Any other throw he threw downfield was bad. It wasn't great. The one he threw to BA had to stop, track the ball, try to find it. That gave the DB enough time to catch up. So I'm not going to hop on the hype train of Jimmy's good. He's all right. He mid. The other thing for me is I want to see what he can do in the offense and how Kyle schemes him up, as far as CMC, that is, to be put on the field and to make plays. I'm glad that he's here. I'm happy, but I'm cautiously optimistic. The negative impact is for the other running backs on this roster. Does Jeff Wilson Jr. give up the number 22 that he's been wearing all this time and give it to CMC willingly? Or do they have to have a gentleman's agreement that we don't know about? And magically you see CMC wearing 22.
Bro, Jeff Wilson Jr. getting traded, bro. He ain't got to do none of that. He on his way out.
I don't know. I'm just saying. So the other thing is with what happens to TDP, what happens to Marlon Mack, what happens to Jordan Mason, like all of these guys basically now are on the outside looking in. You don't know what they're going to do with him. They better keep TDP, because if y'all screw off another 3rd-round pick on a running back and y'all decide, well, we got Christian McCaffrey, we'll just let this guy go, that doesn't look good,
bro.
From a drafting standpoint. Don't take your picks and waste them on dudes you feel you never gonna use. Okay. Kyle don't trust those running backs. That's why they're not there. I don't think he's playing chess with the running backs. I think he honestly just didn't trust them, because Jordan Mason got so much hype all offseason. No love in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I'm saying. Like Marlon Mack, at this point, he'll be cut. He'll be cut or relegated to the practice squad. But I think they like Mason a little bit more, so they may cut Mack, put him there. I'm cautiously optimistic, but let's just pump the brakes on thinking that CMC is going to come in and automatically just fit. We don't know. I want to see it before I put my faith into it, because he brought back Tevin Coleman. And he looked great in Carolina, and he gave him no love in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, man, look, optimism is cool. I'm glad you're being optimistic. And you just you're the type of person you want to see it. Prove it to me. Don't talk about it, be about it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro.
And I appreciate y'all, man. Mose, Breezy, everybody keep doing your thing.
For sure.
And if that schedule ever does open up, because I know you're a busy man, we got to get that pick show.
Yes.
Once or twice here and there.
For sure.
If it opens up. I know you're a busy person.
For sure. I got you, bro. I'm gonna look into it after this show. We're gonna figure it out.
All right, bro.
All right, love you, man.
Y'all continue to
Peace,
be great.
bro.
Thank you, bro. Peace. Yo, we got callers for decades. All right. Let's get my man Eddie Lee over here. All right. Guys, if you call the show and your number's in the queue, you will be called back. I will not end the show until you get on here. What's going on, Eddie? What's going on, baby?
What's up, Mose? What's up, Breezy?
Hey, man.
Yo.
What's up is we got a new running back, and he's an all-pro, and I'm so excited. So you tell me what's up.
Well, I'll tell you, that was one of the best wake-ups to go to work I've gotten in a long time.
You was knocked out
while I was asleep. Yes, sir. My son was he didn't want to wake me up. He was so excited. But as soon as I got him and saw that, he was still up. I went in his room. I was like, I had to do it quietly because everybody was like, let's go. And he was so excited about it. But hey, we should be excited, bro. This is big. I know people are optimistic. I respect Dion.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard him. He's optimistic. I get it. But we got to be at least a little bit excited. This is big.
It's you. And tell us why is it big? Why is it so big? Like, pause. But why is this a huge announcement for the 49ers? I can't stand y'all, man. That's what it is.
Why you can't stand us? We didn't tell you to say it. You said it.
I don't know what else to say. He said it was big. So I got to say, why is this so big? How am I supposed to respond to that? Go ahead, bro. Eddie, you got the floor, man.
I didn't set up for that, bro. I didn't want to.
No, it's okay. This ain't on you. This is on this gentleman right here sitting next to me.
All right. So, what's awesome about this?
That's what she said.
What's so awesome about this is, hey, what this is going to do for our offense. And I get what Dion said. We still got questions. Our quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy has been progressing. He has.
Agreed.
And we got to rock with Jimmy. Hey, Mo said it to me when I met y'all in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Moses and me back and forth. Jimmy can't do that. We go back and forth about that, but we have to back him up. That's our option right now. You said it on Nothing But Niners last night. We're not throwing Brock Purdy out there.
You better not.
We got Jimmy. No, exactly. We got to rock with Jimmy. And Jimmy has gotten better. He's still making Jimmy throws. He's still making some, but I'm telling you right now, when we were in Atlanta, watching Jimmy step up in the pocket, roll out, get his feet moving. I mean, I was having a little bit of flashbacks when I saw him for the first time in 2017 on our team. So, let's be a little more optimistic about Jimmy. He's doing okay. He can do better. Absolutely can do better. But he's doing okay. Let's just keep it going. And now that he's got another piece and run CMC, let's go, bro.
An all-pro piece at that, not just a piece. See, that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. Like, CMC is not just a piece. You know what I mean? He's like a special piece. He's a piece that you get in a commemorative set. Like, oh snap, I got this guy. Oh shoot, you know what I mean? Like you got to read that on your head too. No, I'm just playing.
Breezy, is he a big piece?
Mose, right?
See what I'm saying? This is why I only deal with Mose once a week. Everything else is behind the scenes.
Hey, I know you got some other callers, man. Just want to say I love y'all.
Love you too,
We're
man.
so happy to meet y'all on the
It was a
panel.
pleasure, man.
Hey, if anybody listening right now is going to any of these road games and you get a chance to go to these Rush road trip parties, go. It is a blast. My 14-year-old son had a blast.
Yes.
Watching Breezy hype up the crowd, watching Mose was dancing through the crowd, playing a bunch of fun games. I'm telling you now, it's worth going. Check it out. These guys are awesome. Peachy was there. Fair was there. I wish Mike was there. That would have just that would have
been the icing on the
Brock
cake,
was
bro.
in the building.
Yes, sir.
We had Jason Aponte in the building. We had John Chapman there. We got spoiled in the A-Town, boy. I just wish we could have won.
Yeah. That's the only thing that was missing was the dub. But it's all good, man. It's all love. Listen, thank you for calling, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Eddie, for sure.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Stay up, stay faithful, bro. I realize, Mose, we need to be on like the radio. Sirius needs to give us a show because this is like this is like all genuine. This is unscripted. And I don't know what words are gonna. I don't even know how to say that properly without having to pause. What's going on, Breezy? This, Breezy, that. What's good, baby? You on the show, man. Who do you have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Brett.
What's going on, Brett?
What's going on, Breezy?
Hey, man, I'm on that high life right now. I'm super excited.
You and me both.
Okay, and I want you to explain to the world why you're excited, bro.
Well, when McCaffrey requested the trade, I thought to myself, I said, that would be awesome. That's what we need. Man, of course, it went through but we don't make trades like that. So when I woke up this morning and seen that, if I wasn't old and fat, I'd have been doing backflips.
I'm with you, bro. I did a backflip once in my life. I landed wrong and said never again. I couldn't eat Fruit Loops for a week, bro. I'm not doing them shits. I'm not.
Maybe on the trampoline and into the pool, maybe. But
I love this show. I love it, yo. I do. I didn't expect that.
I love what you guys do. But, you kept talking about our 21 personnel.
Yeah, it's just got me excited, bro. I mean, I know there are other personnels, but just that one right there has 4 All-Pros in it.
Do with that one.
Talk to us.
21/22.
I'm with you. You're talking.
You slide Juice up to the tight end and drop Debo back into a wishbone set with McCaffrey. What are you going to do to stop that?
Mose asked that question a couple of minutes ago, bro, and that's what we were trying to give our brother 49er Media that take. This is why it's not a lose-lose for anybody. If anything, it's a win-win because somebody getting rocked, and with the 49ers, you just got to block. If it ain't coming to you, go out there and do your assignment. I'm with you.
And with Juice and Kittle, two of the best blockers in the game, they just gonna plow that road.
It's about to be Plow City and Santa Clara, baby. Look, I don't know if he's playing on Sunday. I just heard Kyle Shanahan on KMBR kind of give us that. I don't know if he's playing on Sunday. If everything goes well, he'll play on Sunday. Like, you know what I mean? Kyle, he's playing on Sunday, bro. He's playing on Sunday. But listen,
he will. He'll do it a little bit, just like back in 19 when we pulled the trigger and got
Emmanuel Sanders.
He showed up, and what he do? Touchdown.
Bing bang. You on point, bro.
I mean, he's gonna make an appearance.
I love it.
And we're talking about his longevity and his health. In Carolina, that's where I'm at. I live just outside of Charlotte.
Got you.
He's everything. The offense ran through him. So he's just getting beat on.
Oh my gosh.
We got weapons around him to take that pressure off of him. So he's not going to have to do everything.
The workload is not on him. Thank you for my next article. I just got through saying that to everybody at the beginning of the show. The reason why he stayed injured was because he took the workload. He was the number one receiver, number one running back in the same damn season.
Yep.
And they didn't have a quarterback.
And they didn't even have a quarterback. Forgot about that part. Bro, you just got me excited. I'm watching his film for the rest of the weekend, bro. I can't wait, man. Brett, listen, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Please call in more.
I appreciate everything. Make sure everybody hits that like and subscribe button, though. Mose, Breezy, hey, keep it nitty gritty, you guys.
100,
Love
baby.
You.
Always. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Everybody that calls in is getting an excellent thing from me. I like this, man. This is what's up. I got to call the wise one, Mr. CJ Gray. CJ Gray. Let's go.
Yo.
CJ Gray. What's good, baby?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
Hello?
CJ, can you hear us?
Yeah, my beat studio's turned off on me.
All right, Dr. Dre, get that technology right, dog. Get it right. Or Apple, whoever owned the rights by now. But CJ, man, you on the air, man. Let us know how you feeling, man.
Man, it's awesome because we've had a bunch of conversations about our running game and its lack of effectiveness since Elijah Mitchell went down earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it really happen at real time right in the middle of the game when Mitchell goes down, and then now we got Jeff Wilson Jr. in there. And Jeff Wilson did good in the Carolina game, but he ran through some highway holes. It was like an interstate that he ran through and stuff like that. And so when those holes are kind of small and you got to slither through them and you got to hit the hole fast, pause. You need a person that can really get in there and get in there quickly before it closes, or somebody that's got instinct that can pick the right running lane to go through. And CMC definitely does that. And also too, he has that element of catching the ball out of the backfield like a wide receiver. This is a huge deal for our offense. This is like, we haven't had a player like this since Ricky Waters in '94 or Roger Craig before that. These types of weapons in the West Coast offense are devastating. And Kyle Shanahan is about running the football, and he's never had a tool like this to use in a running game. I know Debo ran it last year, but he's not really naturally a running back. So he just doesn't have the same instincts as like what your top echelon running back would have, like a Christian McCaffrey.
Not only instinct, bro, and you're right. We have not talked about Christian McCaffrey's vision. That's one of the most important tools for running back.
Yeah, he has excellent vision, and like Carolina's whole offense was him, and he still was getting it done. Everybody in the stadium knows, man, Christian McCaffrey is getting the football, and he's still getting it done. And so now he's being integrated where we have other options, and now it's just going to be a headache for the defense to figure out what to stop. And I just think that's going to help us out tremendously. At least we won't have any of those running plays that stall for 1 yard or hardly get 2 yards or something like that, or get a big play that only goes for 10 or 15 yards. But now if you put an elite talent like Christian McCaffrey, now that's a 30 or 40-yard game. It just changes the dynamics of how we go about our business on offense. I almost went to sleep last night, and and all of a sudden I just see something go across the screen, ESPN, that Christian was traded, and I was like, man, where is he going? Who did it? And then I realized it was us, man. I was outrageously hyped, man.
Listen, I'm glad you're hyped. I'm still gonna be hyped. Sunday I'm gonna be hyped. Monday I'm gonna be hyped because we're gonna win. Tuesday I'm gonna be hyped, and then I'm just gonna be hyped. I'm just hyped, period. I'm hyped. Listen, CJ, thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, you too, man. Peace. Moses, I know you're at work, bro. I'm sorry. I got like 10 more calls, but if you here for it, cool. If not, if you want to say something and dip out, I understand. I'll stop the calls. Let me know what you want to do, bro.
No, you keep the calls going. I do got to jump back. Love and appreciate everybody. Listen, being cautiously optimistic, that's cool. I feel like this team has a plan. Christian McCaffrey is now part of that plan. Now all we can do is hope that they go out, execute, and do everything that we need to do to win football games and ultimately be the team at the end of the season holding up the trophy. We got to take it week by week, and hopefully we get to see CMC in this offense. But I really can't wait to see him against the Rams because I know they hot that they wasn't able to get it. Love and appreciate y'all. Breezy, my brother. Love you. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, family. Thank you. All right, that's Mose. Make sure you go to his channel. You subscribe to his channel, What Mose Knows, right here on YouTube. He's putting out content each and every week, weekly content, and it's really good content. I'm going to go ahead and get to these calls, and then I'm going to bring in another special guest. So we'll go ahead and do that in a second. But let me get to this first call because I don't recognize this person.
Hello?
What's going on, man? You ready to shoot the breeze, baby? Who am I speaking with?
This is Brian Gamble, man.
Brian in the building. What's going on, baby? First time I actually get to hear your voice.
Man.
Hey, man, how you feeling, bro?
You know what? I feel really good about this, and I wanted to allude to what the previous gentleman said. He hasn't had a running back like this. You know, this is a guy that you can run up, off tackle, up the middle 5 or 6 times, and you throw him passes 5 or 6 times. You know, we don't have to have him as a bell cow like he was in Carolina. You have other weapons now. And just the little 5-yard pass game is going to be deadly because he can break it. And it'll also open up the middle for like the likes of Kittle, Ayuk, Debo. You can't just bunch up. You can't have your linebackers drop all the way 10, 15 yards. They're going to have to respect the screen game. It's just going to make our offense be that more explosive. And with the way Jimmy has been passing the rock lately, outside the numbers and deep, yeah, we're going to be a deadly team if he continues to have that consistency.
Bro, I don't know why. You need to come on the show every time and say these things to get these things off your chest. I appreciate you and appreciate your contributions. Appreciate you in the chat. We need to hear from you more, fam, for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, I love watching you guys, man. I mean, you've dropped so much knowledge for me just as a person, just seeing from a different lens.
Thank you.
And with this aggressive move, it just lets me know not only are we in it this year, in the future. And when Trey gets healthy, the run game, you're not going to be able to stop that.
Hey,
you're just not going to.
22, 23, 24, 25. Doesn't that match Trey Lance's length on this team? Never mind. We'll get to Rohan.
Super Bowl window's there.
You get what I'm saying? Did we not just extend the window, like for Trey?
Just another 4 or 5 years. And what also is even better like this is the players that are up for contracts. They're seeing the organization willing to make these bold moves, wanting to win a championship. They're gonna want to re-sign. Plus the free agents that are going to be looking at us in the future saying, oh, man, these guys really want to win.
Bro, you got me doing the Matrix dance over here right now, dog. Yo, I got the bop going and I got to slow it. Listen, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Bro, thank you for being on. I got to get these other calls on here. I appreciate you, fam.
Yep.
Peace out. Listen. I got a lot of numbers that I don't recognize, and I'm gonna call them back. I want to get the Panthers fan on. My man said this is his first time, but before I do that, I got to bring the great Rohan in the building. What's going on, baby?
Hey, what's going on, Breeze? How you doing,
bro? Look, the moment this happened last night, you're putting out the information. I'm reading your stuff. I'm super excited. I'm drinking my scotch. I'm just on cloud 9. I told y'all that this needed to happen, and it happened. I said that it would make the 49ers have the most explosive, best backfield in the game, especially when Elijah Mitchell returns. Please walk me off of my cloud 9 or join me on cloud 9 so we can go to cloud 11.
I am not walking you off. I am not. And here's what I'll say. There have been several moves this offseason where I've been on the opposing side. I said we should not do this, right? We shouldn't do this move. Bobby Wagner, I was not a big fan of that move. I didn't think that pushed the needle, although obviously you'd welcome a Bobby Wagner on your team. Same with Stephon Gilmore. I didn't think that Stephon Gilmore was the right addition. I didn't think that he would be the best cornerback for this certain team. He's 32, and he was on the declining part of his career, having a good year in Indianapolis, but nobody's worrying because you got Charvarius Ward, who was a guy who I really liked. Now, this move, however, I personally think this move was brilliant. They're going to be like second round pick, fourth round pick, fifth round pick, all these different picks you're giving up, and you're saying it's brilliant for an injury prone running back? Yeah, this move's brilliant in my opinion. We'll get to it, but that's kind of my initial thought on it.
Hey, let's save it for your show because I want to hear why this is brilliant. Brilliant Rohan himself. And I want to be there live and living color and while you break it down for us, man. So let's do that. But listen, Rohan, thank you for being on here. We're going to get to some of these phone calls. We want to finish out the show. That's what Friday is all about. I need to know what the Panther fan number is, but I'm just going to go in order as they're here. And I hope he doesn't leave the chat because I want to know how a real Panthers fan feels about this trade. So hopefully happy. Yeah, I'm just curious to know. They're rebuilding. What's going on, man? You on the Breezy Show? Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
It's Uncle Sam. What's going on?
Uncle Sam in there. What's going on, baby?
Yes, sir, baby. We got CMC. Talk about it.
Hey, you talk about it. I've been talking about it. I'm done talking about it. They need to hear from you.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, man, the previous callers, people not calling in before, man, you guys have all the great energy. I'm trying to tell you, Breezy, this fan base is about to explode. You have the right callers, man. This move, it just got us out of our seats and make us want to talk about it. I'm going to let you know now, dude. I know this is a football podcast, but, man, I was watching the Lakers game last night. My roommate said, oh, guess what? I said, man, the Queen just died not too long ago. What? Will Smith got reinstated back into the Oscars? What happened, man? Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. And then he said, check your phone. Oh, CMC to the Niners. Oh, man, my head just went really quick.
Did you stop watching the game? That's what I want to know.
I had to, man. I had to.
That's perfect. If you stop watching the Lakers, you're already bound for success, man.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm not about to let them ruin my mood for the night. Hey, let me have the rest of my week. Good. And my birthday on Tuesday?
Oh, snap.
Thank you, John Lynch.
Hey,
thank you.
All we need to do is beat the Chiefs. You're gonna have the greatest weekend ever, greatest birthday ever.
Absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely. Man. Just real quick though, I just want to know what's up with people saying that Kyle Shanahan is on a hot seat? If he was on a hot seat, they wouldn't be able to make this move, right?
So, go ahead, Rohan. You take this. Why are the fans saying Kyle Shanahan is on the hot seat?
Now, I think it's a mixture of the offense has been stagnant this year. Obviously, failing to eclipse 20 points on several occasions, including this past weekend. The offense, which is obviously Kyle Shanahan's forte. And so when the offense is stagnant, what do fans automatically attribute to? Two factors, Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan. And with Kyle Shanahan, they think it's his play calling. And so it comes into a spiral because when you blame Kyle Shanahan's play calling so much, that's his main attribute as a head coach. So if you believe that that's not working, then you probably believe he's on the hot seat. And also, obviously, Mike McDaniel being in Miami, seeing some early success, not as much right now, but early success, that probably attributes to it. But the reality is, Kyle Shanahan is not on the hot seat. He probably has a likelier chance of being a 49er head coach for the next 5 years than being fired at the end of the season. That's just the truth of it. People just need somebody to blame when the 49ers are losing, and that's where the Kyle Shanahan blame and hot seat talk comes from.
Do you have it? That's my answer too.
Rohan, you're good. You're good, dude.
He's really good.
Good, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Dude, if you guys ever find yourself in Tampa, Florida, I will absolutely pop out. I hate that the game is in Santa Clara while I'm in Tampa, but hey, you get the home field advantage.
Amen.
Hope you guys have a good one.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for calling in.
For sure.
Peace. All right. We got to get this Panthers fan on there. And look, the name is Making True Money, TMG. All right. So people are like, why you got to call? No, I want to hear from the actual opposing the trade team. You on the air. I've been dying to get you on here. Thank you for watching the stream. I truly appreciate it. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, though?
Yes, sir. Is making true money here. But yeah, I just found the channel probably like 20, 30 minutes ago. So yeah, I'm calling in to give my input, man.
Appreciate you, man. So I want to get your take on, like, are you happy? Like, what's your take on this? You're losing CMC.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. And I've been following like on Twitter since last night because I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I got the notification at like 3 something in the morning. And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. And then like it was 3:30 or so, and my homeboy, he's a Niners fan, and he called me. He was like, bruh. I was like, don't say nothing to me. I already know, bro. Do not say nothing. And yeah, like Panthers fan base, we're divided because we hate it because CMC, he's our offense, our whole offense. Just like everybody else said in the previous call, he's our whole offense. We know, but then it's like a loving kind of thing because he was almost wasted in our offense too, since he was our whole offense. So he's gonna do better over there in San Fran, man.
So you're excited about getting a bunch of picks next year?
I mean, since Baker has been here and since how bad our quarterback play has been, we knew we was tanking. We knew we was tanking for number 1 or number 2. We already knew it. So, I mean, we needed the picks because we only had like 3 or 4 picks maybe in this whole draft. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for the picks, but I hate to see McCaffrey go, man.
Understood. Now, can you please, this is a faithful podcast, 49ers fan base, man, and I'm glad you were you were holding your own in the chat. So kudos to you. But can you tell the faithful, what are they getting with CMC? Because a lot of people are very optimistic. He does have a couple of injuries which kept him out for the majority of seasons, right? So what is the fan base getting with Christian McCaffrey?
All right, so like as far as McCaffrey, like he was doing this back when he was at Stanford. I mean, yeah, he was a little bit injury prone. He was that guy back then. And since he's been here, yeah, we all know he was a thousand running back, which is 1 of 3. But people don't realize that I think the year before that he would have been 1,000 also. He was like 100 yards short or something like that. So I believe, I'm not sure if anybody else would have had 2 seasons of that, but he definitely would have had 2 seasons of 1,000. He was just 100 yards short or so. So like you said, I believe it was his awareness or like his vision. He has great vision that not a lot of running backs have, and the way he gets the hole and everything is great. Y'all definitely have a stud in McCaffrey. I mean, hopefully he stays healthy. He should, because y'all have all of the running backs there. So he should stay healthy, and he's going to be a dog for y'all. He's going to be a straight dog.
Appreciate it, man. Listen, thanks for calling on the show. I appreciate you. I hope you subscribe to the channel. And this is how we do, man, every day.
And I do appreciate y'all, man. Sorry for cutting you off also. But yeah, I'm definitely subscribing.
Appreciate
I'm definitely keep watching.
All right.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate y'all.
I like getting the opposing side, Rohan, because I want to know how they're feeling. I know it's sad to let a person of this caliber go. You know what I'm saying? But he gave you some insight.
I agree.
If he stays healthy, you guys have like a phenomenal player, right? And so what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that it's good to see the opposing side. And I mean, I think it's also this trade, just off the initial outlook, is a win-win, right? Because the Carolina Panthers got the equivalency. Their GM, Scott Fitterer, said it this morning. They got the equivalency of a first-round pick, pretty much, a late first-round pick. And that's what they were looking for in trade talks. Instead, you now have several draft picks over the next couple of years. And the one issue that the Panthers had in 2022 in that draft was that they only had a couple of draft picks, right? You also lost a 4th round or 3rd round pick of the year in 2023 because you traded up from Matt Corral. This now gives you more draft capital to address the significant amount of holes on your team while giving you flexibility to potentially move up in the draft should you want to with the additional draft capital that you have. Not to mention, the Panthers have the number 1 overall pick right now in the draft, and I don't know if that changes. You get an additional 2nd round pick, potentially can trade up for another 1st round pick, and get you an extra player with a 5th year option.
And that's really good, right? Because so for the Panthers guys, you guys are currently trying to rebuild, right? And you need capital in order to do that. The 49ers aren't rebuilding, they're reloading. It's a big difference. And they need to make sure that they have solid pieces solidifying as what we call pillars for the younger players to develop, which they're going to have some players to develop. Trey Lance, Danny Gray, TDP. Look what they're doing. Spencer Burford, who's starting now. Like some of these linemen that they have in there, like Nick Zakil will probably be the starting center for the 49ers going forward in the future. Like they got players that they're developing, and I didn't even talk about the defense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love what the 49ers are doing. Let's get to, we got about 5 more calls, Rohan, and then we'll go ahead and promote you and your channel and get and can't wait to the next show. All right. I don't think I called this person back, so let's go ahead and give him a call. Guys, if I get your voicemail, you passed up your chance on the call, on being on the show. But you can call in next Friday.
Hello.
What's going on, man? You on the Breezy This, Breezy That show?
Oh yes. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Jesse James from Louisiana.
You from Louisiana?
Oh yes.
I love it, baby. I love it. I love it. What's going on, James? Hope all is well.
Yeah, man. I when I got the news last night that we had got McCaffrey, man, that really, I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. I couldn't wait till this morning to get up to hear what you guys had to say about it. I love you all, man. I've been a 49er fan for 70 years.
I love it, man. He said he could not go back to sleep. We woke up and found the news. He could not go back to sleep. I tried to go to bed really late, so I didn't get much sleep. But I was up pretty much celebrating, man. It was a good night for the 49ers, and can't wait to see what it translates to on the football field. What's one of your biggest expectations for Christian McCaffrey? And then we'll go ahead and let you go.
That is true. But the one thing I don't want to use him as a bear cow. You got other runners.
Okay.
Don't overuse him. I don't want him to be overused.
Got you. You heard that right here, guys. Do not overuse Christian McCaffrey. I love it, man. I love it so much.
That's right.
Listen, James,
Right.
Thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate you.
Okay, then. Thank you, guys.
Right.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Stay tuned.
All right, man. Peace out. Man, I've never been to Louisiana. You ever been to Louisiana, bro?
Definitely. I ain't even been to the South in general, so I gotta go there.
You gotta go to Louisiana. Too bad we're not playing, and are we not playing in New Orleans this year? Right? They're coming to us, right?
Yeah,
Damn.
we haven't. Maybe
over.
we go to Atlanta. Oh, you just went to Atlanta.
I just went to Atlanta. But next year, I'm sure we'll play the Saints again because they suck. We gotta, and it'll probably be.
We do play the Saints this year, but they're at home.
Right. So I forgot how it works. Like we play. I don't think we get the NFC South. Well, we get the NFC South every year, but do we get the worst teams?
It depends on where you are in the standings. So it correlates to where you are in that kind of area.
Thank you. So if the Saints are butt trash, like they looked last night, we should be playing them next year. But this time we'll probably be going to New Orleans. We're gonna make that trip, bro, because I want the real authentic shrimp po' boy. I don't want what I be having at these restaurants up here. All right, here we go. And I want some alligator. All right, man. We got a couple of more callers. I promise. Then I'm gonna get to the contributions, and then we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with me. And then a little bit later this afternoon, we're gonna do the Madden simulation.
What up?
What's going on, fam? Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Niner Cali boy.
Niner Cali boy. Hey, man, look, you need to just talk your talk because I know you've been feeling this from the jump. Let us know how you feeling, bro.
Hey, man, I feel great. Hey, look, I was a little mad last night. I was like, man, I'm going to have to make a phone call to Verizon because I ain't get a notification right away. I got some family coming to town last night, so I couldn't tune in to the NBN show. And I always catch it in the morning on a replay. But my homegirl, she got a call. And she was like, "We just got Christian McCaffrey." I was like, "Look at my phone. I ain't getting nothing." I was like, "No, that's a prank. That's a prank." And I'm like, for one, NBN, and the nitty gritty. they would have been blowing my phone up right now. And then you guys were already on live, so then I tuned in, and then so I watched the rest of that show, all 4 hours of it.
That was a long show.
My only thing, I love the pick, but my only thing, and what's up, Rohan, too? But my only thing is that all these people talking about he's injury prone, y'all, all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
We played him, and we got number one defense, right?
Yeah, he walked out again
How
fine.
come we let an injury prone running back score a touchdown, 19 yards on us?
Hey.
You can't have both. You know what I'm saying?
I do
This
know
guy
what you're
just played the Rams. He just played the Rams. Didn't work on them. So like, y'all need to find some positivity, man. Like, they always want to look at the negative. Be positive. This is great. This is a great pickup.
It's a great pickup.
That's amazing. I'm stoked.
That's a great comment too, man. Because it's hard. It's easier to find negativity, right? I'll post Jimmy Garoppolo needs to see a wide open receiver. It's like 1,000 retweets. Jimmy Garoppolo just threw a dime to Brandon Ayuk for a touchdown. 10 retweets. It's weird. It's super weird, right? And then so like it's just negativity is what the world feeds off, man. And it's unfortunate, but that's why we're here. That's why you have people like myself, my man Rohan, and the whole crew, man. We out here to spread some light, man. But we also gonna keep it 100.
Oh yeah, nitty gritty, baby.
There it is. There it is. Listen.
Hey, one more thing, man.
Sure.
Hey, Lake City Fresh, man. I need that intro on Spotify, man. I got a whole game day playlist, and I need that on it. Like,
tell Lake City Fresh.
30 seconds.
No. I only gave you 30 seconds. I had problems figuring out which 30 to trim down because my manager was like, "Hey, you got to make this intro shorter," and I'm like, "Well, you know what I'm saying?" So I had no choice but to trim it. It's a record. Lake City, put that joint on Spotify, bro. Let's get this joint. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for calling in.
All right, appreciate you taking my call, bro.
All right, man. Peace out. We got 2 more calls. Just 2 more contributions. Rohan's been holding it down like a G. I appreciate it. I don't know this person. Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded, got the Niners on my back, you know? Hey, breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody breezy, and that's a fact. All right, that sounds like it's about to be a voicemail. We're going to pass that. And I think last but not least, we're going to call the great Double S, the strong safety, the one and only. Oh, Lake City, I need that joint on Apple Music. I'm an Apple Music guy. What's going on, baby? I can't tell if I'm getting the voice, man. Hey, what's good, Sean?
What's up? How are you doing?
Bro, you know I'm doing great. And it's good to hear from you. I want to know how you're doing. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great, bro. We gave up late round picks for a number 8 overall running back, bro. I mean, do you remember what made the greatest show on turf? Do you remember what made it actually happen?
I actually do. I do.
The trade for Marshall Faulk.
You better talk to him. You better talk to him.
Yeah, no, that's what actually made the greatest show on turf. It wasn't all the receivers they had, Bruce and all them. No, it was Marshall Faulk. And you don't see teams make moves like this that often, especially. Those picks were nothing for what we're getting. He can make plays on his own. No more like pitter-pattering in the backfield like Sermon used to or any of that. And he's actually a true running back, unlike Mostert. Mostert can't take hits. It was great when he was available, but he wasn't available always. You know, and now this guy doesn't have to be a bell cow. He has other people who can take the load, maybe Mason, maybe TDP, like, you know, once they start getting work into it. But when you have him, Debo, and Kittle on the field at the same time with Juice, how are teams going to stop that? I mean, it's just going to be mismatched nightmares.
And that sounds like the name of an album, Mismatched Nightmares, bro. That's what it is. I like it. I love it a lot. I love it a lot, Sean. And that's why I'm so excited, because you know, it's like, yo, the deck that Kyle Shanahan's playing with, he just got himself like he got a Joker and Debo Samuel. Now he just got his deuce of spades. We talking spades. Right? Now he just got his deuce of spades or deuce of diamonds, however you want to play. And then he's got another deuce of spades. And then he's got his ace, right? And then he got his king. Then he got his queen. And these are the all-pro trump cards. I'm telling you right now, Kyle Shanahan is about to be in his bag, in his deck, you name it. And we're going to go out there and finally watch this offense do things. Like finally. Because they got all the pieces. Look at it as like a spider, right? So Jimmy Garoppolo is the body, right? And now all his 8 legs are being assembled just like that. And Jimmy's going to have options, and he's quick at getting them out. I think right now the 49ers, and I know that's the poll question, were they contenders before? I don't know. A lot of people were pumping the brakes on the Niners. We couldn't even win a game. A lot of people were mad we couldn't even score in the second half. I'll tell you right now, they're different,
right?
Different. Yeah.
No, it's like he had a Honda Civic and he just dropped a Chevy 302 in it or something. Straight up. You know, like, what is that? That looks like a little Civic. No, it's not a Civic.
Oh man.
No.
Oh man, that was
cool,
a good
man.
one. That was a good one. Listen, Sean, thanks for calling in. I got to get to one more phone call. So we
All
can
right.
get up out of here.
Hey, Kanan, say bye-bye.
Kanan.
Yep. Say bye-bye.
Hey, Kanan.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
Bye-bye,
That's
Kanan.
close. All right, man. Hey, you guys be blessed. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Hey, John V, man, check your Twitter DMs. I got to get John V on the show. He's a content creator. Rohan, look, I would love to get your quick assessment on how do you think CMC will be utilized if he plays in the Kansas City. My first question, does he play in Kansas City? And if he plays, how do you think he's going to be utilized?
I think the 49ers would want to use him in a very limited capacity. At least that's what the initial reports sound like. And I mean, he'd be a value, right? Because unfortunately right now in the red zone, the 49ers don't have a rushing attack. They rush from a maximum of 2 or 3 yards per carry, more so 1 yard per carry. They don't have the explosive playability. And that's the package that I'd assume Christian McCaffrey would play in should he play on Sunday. I don't expect him to play in much more than that, given the complexity of this offense and that it's been literally a 2-day turnaround, right, during this trade kind of debacle. But Christian McCaffrey, I could see him in some red zone packages because that would provide a different look for defenses and really get back to the 2021 version of the 49ers red zone offense where they were the most efficient red zone team in football.
I like that. I like that, Rohan. I like that. Look, word on the street is I missed a phone call. Listen, call right now, and I should see your number, and I should be able to answer it. So if you can call right now, I didn't mean to miss it. I called a number that I don't recognize. I don't have a name for it. I called it back. That person didn't pick up. It could be you. I don't know, but we have the app open. So if you go ahead and give us a phone call right now, we'll go ahead and call you back. Or answer the phone. That's pretty much how it works. All right. I'm going to be bringing on another content creator very shortly. Hopefully he'll come in. I don't know what's going on with him, but let's get to some of these contributions while that person is calling. Sean, he was just on the phone with us. Shout out to Sean. And we'll come back to that. I promise. What's going on, baby? My bad if I missed your phone call. I didn't see it in the queue. What's going on, family?
What's going on, boss man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. I can't call it. It's Friday. I ain't got no job, and I ain't got shit to do.
Boss man, can I speak freely?
Absolutely.
Can I tell you why I don't like it?
And we want to hear the opposing side. Yes.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest reasons why I don't like it is we're about to get Elijah Mitchell back. We already have Ty Davis-Price. We could have started Jordan Mason, and he's a really good running back that we've been basically hiding. But what scares me the most is Pro Football Focus actually graded all the defensive tackles in the Atlanta game for all teams, and our guys finished last. Eric Armstead is 29, and he's starting to get injured. Javon Kinlaw is most definitely not our future. What I believe we should have done is gone after, and I seen you post my comments before, we should have went after Darian Payne. We could have got him for a second-round pick, and he can be our future. Eric Armstead, like I said, is 29 and starting to get injured, and Kinlaw has never really been around. And that's what scares me, the defensive tackle position. when you look at our team was built to take us to championships by our defense and our defensive line. And when our defensive line is getting worn out, Lombardi asked a question to Kyle Shanahan about our defense, and he literally said we got worn out by the Atlanta offense. And that's the Atlanta Falcons. That gets me nervous. You started going up against like the Bills, or you start going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, which we're about to face. You're going to need a defense. You know, we got to hide our weakness, and our weakness, I think, would be on E-Man's side. We lost him for the rest of the year. And Womack got burnt twice. Now, to be fair, and he did go up against Kyle Pitts. He's probably one of the best tight ends in the NFL. But, you know, we got to hide and disguise our weakness on the DB side, on our weak side. You know, I believe that Mooney Ward will be back and playing, but that gets me nervous.
And by right, you should be. The defensive line did look a little weaker, but you got to remember it didn't look weak the week before. We were, you know, without Armstead, without Kinlaw, but you had Nick Bosa for a little bit. So you got to factor in you're getting Nick Bosa back and how that's going to help upgrade the defensive line. I know he's an edge, but the interior plays better when the edge guy's there. Why? Why does the interior play better, Rohan, when the edge guy's there? An edge guy like Nick Bosa.
It's because you don't see as many you don't see as many double teams, right? It's more one-on-one. You get more opportunity, and also it's a symbiotic relationship when those edge guys, when the interior guys are eating up two players, space eaters like Hassan Ridgeway and Kevin Givens. That means it's one-on-one matchups against the edge. And Nick Bosa is one of the best run defenders in the NFL. That's the most underrated part of his skill set. People don't understand that, but he sets the edge very well, and he can wrap up very well along the edge. Samson Ebukam might be an even better run defender. So when you have your fully healthy duo there, teams don't have a choice but to really run in between the tackles, and that's where it provides easier opportunities for those guys up the middle.
And I agree with him. And also to add this, and I know you can respond back in a sec. Maybe the injuries to the interior aren't as devious as we think, right? And so they're just being a little bit more precautious with time because we had depth. And so Eric Armstead will probably be back after the bye. So will Javon Kinlaw. And so you get them back healthy for the second half of the season, and then you deal with whatever dings and bings you get. But, I mean, that's going to be a really good thing to have them coming back. So, Barry, that's probably why. You know, I know you wanted Teron Payne from Washington. You said you could give him up for a second. I guarantee you Washington was going to probably ask for something higher than the second, like a second, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh. They was going to milk the 49ers dry because that was the player we were going to seek after. So I think from a perspective from the GM, he was like, you know what, bump this, though. We're going to rock with what we got. We're going to use our depth. Right, we'll be better. Nick Bosa being back helps, and that's kind of, I think, the way they're going to go with it.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, thank you, sir. I just got out of the military at the end of last year.
Oh, I understand. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you for your service too.
Oh, no problem. You know, the only problem that I have with you guys saying that is Eric Armstead's 29. We're going to need a future defensive tackle. He's starting to get injured. And Kinlaw is not our future no matter what. You got to look at the longevity, the long term. The last one we could have easily got. The Commanders have to pay Sweat. You have to pay a lot of other players on their defensive line. We could have got him for pretty cheap for a second-round pick. They have too many players that they have to pay. Chase Young's one of them. They have to pay. They have to pay Sweat. They have to pay Jonathan Allen. So they have a few people that they have to legitimately pay. So they're not going to be able to afford him. So they would have took anything because anything is better than nothing. And the one thing, like I said, that always gets me nervous is what helped us get into the NFC championships and the Super Bowl when we didn't have defensive backs. It was the defensive line. That was our strong suit. But no, that pass rush there. The only way I see this working against good teams like the Chiefs or the Bills or any other good team that have to play in the future is if we start T.Y. McGill in there. We stuff the line with Ridgeway and McGill, and then use pass rushers like Sampson, Ankibum, and Bosa, and even Kerry Hyder Jr. and Charles Omenihu, and just rotate some of those players in and out to keep our defensive line healthy. If we don't stuff the interior, people are going to run right through us. The Atlanta Falcons went, on the first drive, 75-plus yards and scored a touchdown without even struggling because of how bad our defensive line was. They got worn out by Atlanta. They literally ran the ball over 40 times. They literally copied and parried to us. That's what gets me nervous when your defense isn't doing that. And then we lose E-Man for a year. You're going to have to hide that weakness on our defense because no matter who you plug and play on E-Man's side, they're not E-Man. They're not going to be as good. And you need to hide and disguise that. And the best way of doing that is putting pressure on a quarterback.
Listen, look, I understand.
That's a really good point. I think
You're
that's a really
concerned?
good point there.
But
I think,
just
go
go ahead,
for it.
everyone. You got it.
All right. No, I just think the quick objective to that is when we look at the Christian McCaffrey trade, it in a way puts the 49ers in a predicament because when you saw other teams that give up draft capital to attain assets, they now have to hit on those minimal draft assets that they have because of the impending free agents. Charles Omenihu is an impending free agent this year. Same with Kevin Givens and same with a number of rotational players. And even though the 49ers did a good job in extending players to multi-year deals this year in Oren Burks, Trevarius Ward, Raymond McLeod, their depth pieces, they have a ton of impending free agents right now. And so when you give up even more draft capital, that's an issue. And then comes the point of paying Daron Payne a big time deal. You're going to have to account for that in the salary cap as well. And that's going to be another issue given the 49ers. You talk about Armstead being 29. Unfortunately, the 49ers are contractually tied to Art Armstead still, paying significant money next year in $25 million. And so you're going to pay a significant amount because Nick Bosa will get a deal. Art Armstead will have a deal. Javon Kinlaw will still have a fully guaranteed deal. And now Daron Payne will have a deal on top of the depth. If you want to pay for different players a good amount of money, you're not going to be able to pay the depth. And
Correct.
so Samson Ebukam might go, different other players like that might go.
Yeah, and that was another thing I was going to look at. Go ahead.
Well, the one thing that I was looking at is whatever we were going to pay Kinlaw, we could have used to pay Daron Payne. Because Kinlaw, this was supposed to be his prove-it year to make some money. And
he has one more year though. So like Kinlaw being a first round pick, he would play next year, and then he can get that 5th-year option. So they can offer him the 5th-year option next year.
Correct. I understand that, but what I'm saying is eventually the salary cap's going up each year.
I think what he's saying is the money that you would have eventually paid Daron Payne or Kinlaw with, you pay Payne.
So the salary cap is supposed to go up.
That's good.
Now, we don't know exactly how much it's supposed to go up, but I'm saying what we were supposed to futurely give Kinlaw, we could have gave to Daron Payne. I have no problem with Christian McCaffrey. Like all your other callers said, they're optimistic. They want to see it first from what they progress. And look, man, I'm a diehard Niners fan since '89. I'm 33 years old, an ex-military. I want to see my team win a Super Bowl. I've been waiting for it forever, like everybody else, but I'm very cautiously optimistic. I mean, especially when we already have a bunch of running backs, and we are slowly but surely starting to get down on the defensive line, especially at the defensive tackle position. And that is a position that we're going to need to invest in sooner rather than later. And giving up all those draft picks against a guy who's second in the NFL, beating his man, he's second in the NFL, even on double teams. You're not going to see too many defensive tackles you can get on the cheap. That's already proven it. He's 4th in the NFL right now in sacks. That's a guy that you would want to put in there. Like I said, the only thing I would say that we can be successful on the defensive interior line is if you stuff it with Ridgeway and McGill. If you don't, then I think we're going to crumble like we did in Atlanta, and that's scary.
Very good points, man. Listen, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you, and we'll keep talking about this. I like this. This is good topic.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for taking my call.
Anytime, brother. Appreciate you. Peace out.
Peace out.
All right, that's it. Phone lines are down. That was a way to end the phone lines. John, I'm going to take you off of mute. Listen, do you feel like the 49ers should have looked elsewhere to address a different problem? Or do you think that they did the right thing by addressing the running back? Because I feel like at this point, everybody's coming for Kyle Shanahan's head. He's the offensive guy. They went and got an offensive weapon. What are your thoughts about that?
That we're just never satisfied, bro.
It's tough.
Look, man, let's take one day at a time. Like, we added an additional weapon, a potential threat in the slot, a versatile running back. Like, let's stop overthinking, family. You get one thing and then you're already looking for the next. It's like a spoiled kid with a toy. You give him one and then he wants another. Like, just settle in. Let this marinate in this. I'm loving this right now, man. I was afraid at first, but the picks that we spent don't really concern me much, and I'm happy to see that we got aggressive. We are spending. I'm seeing John Lynch getting aggressive and turning into a beast. Like, let's do this, man. If we're gonna talk about the defensive position, I say we rent Sue for a year, for the remainder of the season. Bring him in here. Stuff up the middle, and let's focus on the offense, fam. Let's focus on the offense. That's where we lack creativity. CMC brings some of that creativity to the line. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here pressed about anything right now, man. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're an injury-prone team. Who the hell are anybody in the 49er fan base to start complaining about injury-prone players? We are injury-prone, family. Get over it. Get used to it.
Yeah. Like I'm numb to injuries at this point. I don't want to see anybody get injured. It's just unfortunate that it kind of happens. Look, I'm with you. I feel like we can hold teams to minimal points on the defense, but we can't score on the offense. Now we grab a piece to where we can add some scoring on the offense. And again, like you said, we're kind of a little upset. But listen, John, I appreciate that. I appreciate your take on it. I wanted to get you on here. I know you were calling in. I'm like, why would John call in? He could just join. I want people to support you, to check you out. So let everybody know where they can find you. I'm going to get to these contributions. I'm going to let you guys go and get to these contributions so I can get up out of here. I'm officially hungry now. It's hungry time for me. So, John.
I feel you. Yo, family, catch me at the locker room rant with my boys, Tony and Nick, two of my best friends on the whole wide world, man. Browns fan, a Bills fan. We chop it up. We yell at each other. We talk about the league. We talk about football. We talk about basketball. We talk about just about anything sport related, fights, whatever you want to chop up. Come to the chat, ask us questions. We love it. Also, Breezy, I want to talk to you about the sponsorship that I've been doing.
Okay.
For your Patreon. I'm sponsoring. I think I got 9 open spots. I'm sponsoring you guys for 1 month to jump in on the Patreon, support Breezy, listen to the chat, jump in the chat, listen to the one-on-one conversations. It's a little bit of Breezy unchained. It's a good time. It's unfiltered. we get to talk. We get to talk behind the closed doors about how we really feel about everything going on 49ers and even a little bit about life. Jump in, enjoy the conversation. I'm sponsoring you guys. I got 9 spots. Let's do it.
Let's do it. John, I appreciate you, bro.
My man. Always a pleasure. Rohan, good to see you, brother. It sounded like you were getting robbed back there, man. Either you fell off your chair or you were getting robbed. One or the other. I was worried about you.
Nah, we good. We good. I was just changing locations. That's all.
Okay, my man. Okay. Later, family. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy this pick, fam. Enjoy this pick. Later.
Yes, sir. Look, interesting takes, Rohan. I actually I like the fact that Harold called about the defensive tackle. He feels like that's a key piece. Listen, Deron Payne will be a free agent next year, so you would necessarily have to give up capital to then try to re-sign him. So that's probably why they didn't go after him. If I was going after a defensive tackle, though, it would have been Derek Brown, which they might have inquired, and the Panthers are like, no, we're building on our defense. We want Derek Brown, right? And so what leaves that to you? There's going to be a slew of free agents at the defensive tackle position.
Most definitely. And I think the 49ers might not even be done. People talk about McCaffrey.
Correct.
I think they still could be in the market for an underrated defensive lineman. And that's where they might address their depth and potentially get themselves ready for potential leaving free agents like Kevin Givens, who should demand a salary of probably $5 million or higher per year. And so they could kind of insulate themselves for the potential departure of free agents in that way.
I love it. Let me go ahead and get to these contributions so we get up out of here. I'm doing foghorns for every contributor. You got it? Sean, why would they trade for Christian McCaffrey? Christian Music Channel, that's what he calls CMC. We ain't had a back line. We ain't had a back like him since Garrison Hurst. Gore wasn't elusive, but he ran hard, right? Gore could get low to the ground, and you just couldn't tackle him. You're right. Now it frees D to be even more dangerous. He's talking about Deebo Samuel. C-Mac is better than Mostert. Who's saying Mostert is better than C-Mac?
I do not know. If that's the case, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, like we got to go back and watch football. My brother Tommy, guaranteed lambs, red chickens, and seagulls are pissed. These are really cool nicknames for our opponents, our foes. All right, Sean's back with another contribution. When will we get a number 8 pick for a late round pick, end of round? while he was in his prime. F those picks. Tired of all the Joe Williams great move. Yeah, Rohan, essentially we were saying that the 49ers got a first round pick in that 2017 draft by trading picks, the second pick, third pick, the fourth pick, and the fifth pick next year.
Yeah, I mean, you are right. He was number 8 overall pick, and understand that it is a different era. People don't draft running backs like that anymore, but he's a talented player, and you get him with a good contract. You get him overall with like solid draft capital, but you are insulated with future draft capital. We can address that at a different time. It's a pretty solid deal for the 49ers, and because of how important running back is to this team, and because of how really putrid the running backs have been this year in terms of efficiency, this was an important move not only for 2022, but for years beyond.
There it is. There it is. 49ers underscore throwback, my man Fernando. Thank you for the contribution. What a day to be a Niner. Happy Friday. Wanted to say thank you for your show as always. Go Niners! I love it. Thank you for the contribution. Big boy Lewis, shout out to you. Cherry on the cake. The Rams didn't get him. Rohan, the Rams wanted Christian McCaffrey. Talk to us.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams wanted it, but overall, they were never going to be able to outbid the 49ers. Why? Because the Rams have already made moves like this in the past. Von Miller last year costed them a second and a third round pick, leaving them starting the draft with a fourth round pick this past year. And so, as a result, the Rams are already depleted with draft capital. They don't have as much as the 49ers, while the 49ers consistently are getting extra draft capital via compensatory picks. They got 2 additional third-round compensatory picks this year. Could even add another one if DeMeco Ryans leaves as the head coach. They are insulated in draft capital, and I put in an article yesterday that says the updated 2023 and 2024 picks, you have already 7 picks. Normally, you enter a draft with 7 picks. After losing three picks in this 2023 draft, the 49ers are still ending up with 7 picks and have over, I think it was 9 picks, I believe, potentially in the 2024 draft, with more to come via the compensatory formula.
Correct. Very correct. All right, Master Chef, good morning, fam, or good afternoon. I hope Kyle uses him right, and also for him to stay healthy. Do you think Kyle Shanahan's going to use CMC correctly, bro? You just went muted. What happened to the sound?
There we go. I think he's just been waiting for a guy with CMC's caliber, because Kyle Shanahan is going to now navigate back to the 2019 season where he had Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert, guys that could hit the outside and hit the inside. That is the importance of the system, because then defenses are fooled. They can't navigate and they can't understand and predict what the 49ers are going to do. Whereas right now, it's inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, because Jeff Wilson Jr. can't hit the outside without the requisite speed. You have that option in CMC and Mitchell now with inside-outside capability. That's just going to expand the offense, and the 1-2 punch is going to limit CMC's touches while keeping the efficiency of the offense up.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, Peachy's in the place to be. Getting CMC last night worth $1 million. Getting CMC instead of the Rams, priceless. Listen, I don't know about you, man. I just like, just finally just stomping on the Rams in every way, shape, or form. I don't think the Rams are going to beat the 49ers this year, period. I didn't think they were going to beat them anyway. And look, I love this. We've outbid, Sean McVay and Les Miles and all those guys over there who usually, just like you said, they make moves. Unfortunately, they're kind of strapped, right? And the 49ers waited till the time was right. And Rohan, you just said that Kyle will utilize him right, because Kyle Shanahan now has his guy. Like, this is a guy Kyle wanted back in 2017. We're not talking about it. This is a guy he wanted, but he couldn't have him because they had to build. You don't get a running back and be able to build. You have to build the trenches, set yourself up for the future. That's why Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have been extended. Thank you for the contribution, Peachy. I appreciate it. Jay Faithful 49, thank you for the contribution. I don't have anything here by you, but we truly appreciate you as well. And Joey, thank you so much for the contribution as well. I think that's all of the contributions for today, and I'm glad we were able to get those out. I got this poll question, and I just wrote an article about 49ers being top contenders, you know what I'm saying, for the Super Bowl by adding CMC. A lot of people feel like that the 49ers were already contenders, but it's weird, right? Because, Rohan, I guarantee you, there was a bunch of faithful that said that don't watch the game anymore. There's a bunch of faithful that said we're injured always, and yet we get CMC, and it pushes us back to the top. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that overall, this move, it depends, right? Because Jimmy Garoppolo is still your quarterback. It's unknown whether the 49ers can win that big game. It's just a fact. He hasn't been able to win the Super Bowl. But the 49ers have shown that they can get there, and now add another pick to that arsenal of picks. Arsenal of players. So this increases their ceiling. In a way, I thought they were going to win the West before. I think that is not confirmed, but they should be the overwhelming favorites probably to win the West. And I think that this boosts their chances at least of getting out of the NFC because of how depleted the NFC has been this year. The Eagles are 6-0. They're probably going to end with the 1 seed because their schedule is easy. But again, I think the 49ers and the Eagles match up fairly well. The Buccaneers, the Packers, those two teams that many anticipated being in the top 4, have seen some form of regression offensively this year. We'll see how that translates over the end of the year. But again, here's what I'll say. John V said it best. Fans are going to be unhappy regardless. This is the 49ers. That's just the case with the 49ers. My job is just to provide you the facts and provide you what will the impact be. It's your job to kind of gauge it and see what you do with that information. It's going to be, our fan base is bipolar in a way. And so a good part, and there's also a part that will still be unhappy, but this is a good move for the 49ers. I explain why, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it all this week.
Yeah. And 70% of the fan base agrees. The ones that are watching the show, they agree with you. Look, the 49ers were Super Bowl contenders before the CMC trade. But in my opinion, this just helps solidify. They gotta stick to their plan, stay healthy. As always, one little injury can change up things, not just for the 49ers, but for any team, right? And I do like our chances in the NFC. I definitely feel like we would be the Eagles' best competition, especially when we come into that game healthy. So there's just a lot of things for the 49ers. They just got to stay on their track, and they added another piece to stay on that track. Hey, Rohan, listen, let everybody know where they can follow and subscribe to your channel, bro. And when you're going, when do you regularly go live so people can tune in and add it to their calendars?
Yeah, most definitely. You can see just my channel is my name, so you can search up my name, Rohan Chakravarthi, on YouTube. That's where I'm going live a good amount every week, at least 3 times a week, sometimes even 4 or 5 times a week. So be sure to check it out there. Me and Wayne both work at 49ers Web Zone. That's where we're putting out a good amount of content. You want the news straight on. That's where you're going to see the earlier part of the content. So be sure you don't miss out on 49ers Web Zone. And then follow me on Twitter as well. You get quick updates and my thoughts as well in obviously a shorter text over there on Twitter at Rohan Chakrav. Make sure you guys check out all 3 channels and also support Wayne's channel here. He does a great job being dedicated, being consistent, and doing what he does for all of us. I'm grateful for the opportunity to come on, and this chat is amazing as well.
It is. The chat is why we're here, bro. Listen again, guys, for the news, 49erswebzone.com, and do us a favor when you read the articles, hit the share button. All right, we need you guys to share it. We need it to get out to the massive of the massive peoples. We just need one person to share it each and every time, and just keep it going, guys. We truly appreciate it. Rohan, it's been a pleasure having you on here. You're more than welcome anytime. Just let me know when you're available. The link will be there for you, bro. All right,
100%.
All right, man. Thanks for joining, bro.
Peace, guys.
Peace out, man. Guys, what an amazing show. This was a call-in show. First of all, to all our callers that called in, you guys were A freaking plus, man. Round of applause to you. Right? A plus. And when I say round of applause, the reason why I'm giving you a round of applause is because there were so many good takes today. All right, so many good takes. This is what I like about Fridays. When I'm here Friday, I want to do the call, and I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you got to say. I want you to get the stuff off your chest. I want you to be emotional. I want you to just give it to us raw, the way you feel, right? And that's what Friday is all about, man. That's what it's all about. Shout out to my crew. Shout out to Peachy. Shout out to Fair. Shout out to Mose. Shout out to John Chapman. Shout out to Mike Andrew from Nothing But Niners. Shout out to everybody. John V was on the show. Dion has his podcast, Niner Game Podcast. Everybody, I love and support you. Mariah, you name it. Look, Eric Crocker, Grant Cohn. Shout out to everybody that's out here doing what they do for the faithful. You guys are the real MVP. I'm going to get up out of here. Listen, I need to ask this question. I'm tired. I'm super tired. Can I do the Madden challenge tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Will you guys tune in if I did it tomorrow? All right. Give me a thumbs up if you will, and a thumbs down if you don't. If you're watching in the comment section, make sure you give me that thumbs up, very quickly. Real quick, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe this joint, man, at Wayne Breezy right here on YouTube, Twitch, twitch.tv/Wayne Breezy. Don't forget to join the Patreon. There it is right there, patreon.com/Wayne Breezy. You can follow on Twitter at Wayne Breezy. Instagram is at Wayne Breezy 2. All right, we already told you where you can go to get the latest in 49ers news. And guys, shout out to our sponsors for this show at Residency. You can go to www.residency.com if you want one of these cool residency caps, man. Use that promo code right there, SF Breezy, and get yourself hooked up today. All right, I'm getting thumbs up for tomorrow. And I'm loving it. Boats. I went last night. I went online and I put the game on, and guess who was the starting running back wearing 22? It wasn't JWJ. I'll leave it at that. So yes, to answer your question, you guys are telling me I can get some rest. Appreciate it. I got a show tonight with my man Timmy, so I want to make sure I'm on point for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest. Nick, what's good, baby? First of all, this is my brother from another mother, man. If you guys aren't following my man Nick Para, man, make sure you do it. He's one of the coolest people ever created by God himself. Love this guy. Had a blast with you in Atlanta, and I can't wait to chop it up with you again. All right, so guys, the Madden Simulation Challenge will go down tomorrow. I got a studio session from 10 to 1. As soon as that studio session is over, I kick the artists out. 2 o'clock p.m., we will go live, and we'll play some Madden. And hopefully Madden does all its updates, but I will make sure I change that playbook. Guys, make sure you share this podcast, man. Just hit the share button, take the link, go out, post it. Yo, check out Breezy, man. I appreciate the love. Stay up, stay faithful. What a great Friday. What a great way to start the weekend. Let's get this dub. Thanks for watching. Peace.